I'm going to be showing you how to hit any ball flight in golf with the swing you already have. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to hit any ball flight in golf. And we're going to do it using the 9-shot grid, the famous 9-shot grid that Tiger Woods talks about. He wants to hit all the windows. And we're going to apply that in a little bit of a different way without necessarily changing our technique. What I see a lot of golfers do is they work from the same spot and they try to modify the swing to hit different ball flights. And while it's possible, it's quite difficult if you're trying to be consistent in how you hit the ball, because you're always changing that swing. So instead, what we're going to do today is we're going to be working with not only a grid that we're trying to hit the windows with our ball flight, we're also going to be working with a grid right down here where the ball is laying. We're going to have the same setup each time, and when we want to change the ball flight, instead of always just changing the swing, we're going to change the position of the ball and react to where the ball is. And that is how we're going to be able to create different kinds of ball flights. So if I start out, we have the grid and we have 9 slots to put the ball. And a way to look at the grid here is we have the horizontal lines going from low, medium to high. And then we have the left vertical grid, where we're talking about starting the ball to the left or fading it. Vice versa, on the right vertical grid, we're talking about draws. We're talking about high draw, medium flighted draw, and the low draw. And in the middle, we're talking more about the straight flights. A big reason why this works is because the swing is on an arc. We're moving on an arc. Where we place the ball is going to affect where in the arc we actually hit the ball. If we place it further towards the target, we're going to be hitting it later in the arc, meaning we're going to hit it while the club is actually traveling more to the left. Place it further back, the club is still traveling down and out, moving towards the right. So we're actually hitting it earlier and the ball is going to start more right. And if I move the ball closer to myself, then in order for me to get contact with the ball, I actually have to move away from the ball and cover it. My arms are going to be closer to the body, delivering a lower loft. If I'm placing it further away, it's almost more of a reach. I kind of have to reach for the ball. I have to extend. And we're going to be delivering more loft into the ball. Something to maybe consider if you're now listening to this and you have a very distinct ball flight. Maybe you are an adamant slicer of the golf ball, or perhaps you just hit straight ropes all the time. Probably not, but if you are, this could be one of the root causes to your problem. Where is the ball position? I've seen so many golfers that they say, the classic is they say they're a chronic slicer. No matter what they do, they just slice. A lot of times what I find is the ball position is forward towards the left foot. A lot of times it might be a little bit too close. And so if we're setting up here, well, if I'm going to reach this ball, I have to severely open my body and work towards opening that club face, unless I want to hit a straight low pull. All of this is assuming that we're working with a neutral club face and that it just reacts to where the ball is. Now we're going to go through the 9 shots. We're going to start out with the most basic one. The ball is in the middle of the stance. I'm holding a 6-iron here today. Now it's going to be slightly different depending on the kind of club you're using, but we're going with a 6-iron here today. So the ball is going to be in the middle of my stance, medium distance, pretty relaxed here. There's not much fuss to this swing. Medium flight, pretty straight ball flight. We got a little bit of wind off the left here, so that's going to affect a few of the shots today. Moving on now, we're going to go through all the straight shots. So we're going to move it a little bit closer now. Now we're obviously trying to hit it low, and so I'm actually going to grip down a little bit on the club here, which is exactly what I would do on the course. Now, if I were to grip out, it would still be in the middle. It's gripping down a little bit. The ball is a little bit closer to me. I'm just trying to do the same swing here. I'm not trying to change anything. The only thing I'm doing is reacting to where the ball is. Okay, now we're gonna hit the high straight one. So we're still using the same setup, but only this time we're gonna have to extend a little bit. We have more space in between the body and the arms and the hands. Working relaxed arms here. We're not trying to force anything. Here it's just about more extension. Okay, so now we're going to move to the left vertical line. We're going to move the ball further forward towards our lead foot in the stance. When we move the ball further forward, we're going to hit it later in the arc. We're going to hit the ball as our club actually wants to move left on the arc. So our club path is going to be going left. For me, a very important part here, and I think if you look a lot of the best ball strikers in the world here, that you can see is that they're not trying to force the ball flight unless they're trying to hit a very exaggerated ball flight. They're still trying to stay quite relaxed. Tiger Woods is a great example. When you look at him when he was playing in his prime, he was very relaxed in how his arms were moving, and he was letting the big muscles work. So when we move the ball further up forward, we could start the swing still in the middle, but if we're going to get solid contact here, we're going to hit it when the ball or when the club is further forward in the arc, meaning that our body should be more open. And this is where it's so important that we're trying to stay quite relaxed here and hold the club quite freely, because we don't want to close that face too early. We don't want to strangle the shot. And so if we're letting the arms and the club follow the swing, we're going to deliver a slightly more open face, creating that fade. All right, now we're gonna hit the low fade. This, for a lot of people, this is kind of the safety shot, so you feel like you can cover it with your body. So we're moving still from the same setup here. If you wanna go lower, we can go a little bit more narrow with our stance. So if I'm here, in order to get contact with this ball, I have to be more open with my body, and obviously the club needs to move a lot more left here in order to get contact. That's really nice. Great contact, very efficient ball flight. That's a useful shot. All this changing goes to say, if you're trying to exaggerate the swings, just move the ball further to one direction. If you want to spin it less, same thing, just move it a little bit less. If you're trying to work against the wind, this is a great way to do it. Now we're going for the mid-flighted fade. So the only thing we're doing now is we're moving the ball further up towards that lead foot. Very nice. Lastly, for the fade shots, now we're moving up away from us, but the ball's still further forward. So this one, obviously, you have to really reach for this ball. If you're playing super firm greens and you have no way to hold the green, this could be a useful shot. So we're in the same spot here. The ball's further away from us and it's further towards our lead foot. Relaxed arms. We have to make sure we can reach for this ball and give ourselves time. Relaxed upper body is what's in my head right now. That is a towering fade. It's solid contact. It still has distance. That thing is going to stop on super firm greens. Okay, now we are moving towards the right vertical line. We're going to hit draws. Just like I said, for the fade shots, we're talking about the arc here. Where in the arc are we hitting the ball? So now we're hitting it actually earlier in the arc. So the club is moving down, and if we're looking at a TrackMan, our club path should be positive. It should be moving out away from you. Meaning, just like I said when we were talking about how the body is more open when we hit it later in the arc, it's going to be more closed when we're hitting it earlier in the arc. And our face is going to be delivered pointing a little bit more to the right. Since our club is moving out away, the ball's going to start to the right and it's going to be turning in towards the target. Now we are hitting draws. We're going to go into it starting out with the mid-flighted draw. So same setup again. The ball now is further towards the trail foot. When I'm practicing this, I always kind of like to feel like I'm setting up towards the middle square, and then I just move the club to help myself set up kind of the same way and just react to where the ball is positioned. Yeah, nice flies, solid contact. We have a little bit of wind up there that's kind of keeping it from drawing too much. Now we're gonna hit the last one out of the low shots, another low flighted shot. This is, I would say for me, the most important shot to be able to score well in different varying conditions. You know, we have rain, we have wind, we have soft greens, we have firm greens. Is this low one. The low shot is so useful in order to kind of play it a little bit more safe. You can apply this up and down the bag. It doesn't matter what club you have. Low draw, the lowest quadrant to the right. We can start in the middle. Okay, we got to set up to this. We're going to grip down a little bit like we've done on all the other ones that we're going low with. And we're just reacting to where is this ball. Very nice. Lower launch, less spin. That thing is going to hold up really well in very windy conditions. Now we're going into the high draw. So it's the highest quadrant to the right. Still standing in the same place. Ball is further away. We have to reach a little bit for this one and let the club extend. Super important here that we're relaxed. Trust that the club is going to catch up. Trust that the draw is going to come. Very nice shot. Another thing to add, because now we're working from the same setup every time. And I'm sure a few of you are thinking, well, why don't we move the setup? Right now, it's to learn and understand how to do all this shaping and how we can just move the ball position without changing the setup. Of course, if you want to hit a much more exaggerated ball flight, you can also change the stance. You can move that trail foot back. If you want to open up the hip a little bit, make the club come from more inside, vice versa. If you want to come more from the outside, you can change the stance in that way. But in today's video, we're working from the same stance, and I think this is a great way to learn more about how does the ball fly. And now you can also hit the ball with any sort of ball flight, only by changing the ball position. So now that you've seen how to hit all the different ball flights by simply adjusting your ball position, and instead of trying so hard to change your technique for every shot, just letting your body react, you can now go out on the course, after some practice of course, and shape it just like Tiger. This is exactly the way that he set it up, and a proven concept that really works. And it's a way for us to make golf easier. We don't have to complicate it so much. If this tip helped you out, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be having lots more of these types of videos with instructions. And if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to drop a comment and like the video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.